r/AskReddit. What famous person needs to be ignored and shunned into obscurity? The Nikocado avocado guy, it's honestly for his own sake ATP. Only way to save his life at this point is to ignore him. Is this avocado guy someone I should know lol? Besides the obvious ones already stated here, let's go with Joel Osteen. Didn't we do that when he refused to give people shelter in his church during flooding? Why do we keep allowing him back in? He said it was inaccessible due to flooding. Ezra Miller Reddit. Given the number of people replying, who, and requiring others to explain who Ezra is, I fear that my comment has succeeded in doing the opposite of what OP asked. Whoops, forgive me. Damn near everyone I know is better than Ezra. Good. Chris Brown. Duck him. Disgusting to see so many people on Twitter defend him. A while ago the band Churches did a song with Marshmello and then later cut ties with him after he decided to do a song with Chris Brown. Chris then said of the band, these are the type of people you hope walk in front of a bus or something along those lines. The female lead singer of Churches then received threats of murder and rape from Chris Brown's fans and had to leave social media for a while. Honestly, this man is a cretin who deserved to have any fame stripped away from him, and any fans of his that condone this kind of behavior are scum too. Jim Bob Duggar. Well shit, I'm already there. No idea who that is. Honestly, that's fine. Don't even worry about it. Just forget you saw this thread and please don't even start down that rabbit hole. Gwyneth Paltrow. Goop is pure pseudoscience and dangerous. Is she the vagina crystal lady? Funny this doesn't have more upvotes, but the fake health industry is a multi-billion-dollar success, so I shouldn't be surprised. In the spirit of being different from some of the more obvious answers, R. Kelly thought he was already in obscurity, but apparently he just released a new album. Only heard one line from it, what I think is safe to say the most notable one, and it just reaffirms he can piss all the way off. He can piss all the way off. An unfortunate way to put it. This is a remix edition of the song about pissin'. The Kardashians. They're Jenner sisters too. They are inherently under the umbrella of Kardashian. Kenneth Copeland. When I was a kid, I used to watch the last few minutes of his show before Pokemon came on. He once did a sermon saying it's sinful to tell your children that you're proud of them because pride is a sin. Even back then, I thought it was ridiculous that he couldn't discern between two definitions of pride. Probably intentional on his part regardless, and he only got more abhorrent in the years afterwards. I also would see the last few minutes of his show before Pokemon as a kid. One morning me and my sister had to get up earlier than usual for some reason, and he was going on and on about money. Coming to me now. Just some wacko prosperity preacher shit. And I stopped learned to make references to that like 25 years later because it was so absurd and we both thought it was hysterical. Me and a friend have adapted it for when we're out in the woods hoping to find something like mushrooms. Coming to me now and shit. And remember, Jesus is Lord. Joel Osteen. Making millions preaching a religion that he obviously doesn't follow. So I'm originally from Houston and I attended Lakewood about 10 years ago because my ex was an active member. We didn't attend on a Sunday as it was very crowded, but Lakewood offers a Wednesday evening service that has like 25% of the crowd. So seating is liberal and plenty of space. We only went a handful of times because for me it was more verism, whereas my ex was diehard about Jesus. Part of the service is the collection plates where you give money, and I shit you not, a woman sat in front of me, opened an envelope and counted out $500 to place in the collection plate. This woman did not appear well off by any means, and her teenage son sat next to her looked so upset, uneasy about his mom just handing out a wad of cash to the Osteen brand. It disturbed me enough to never return and also to dump the boyfriend. Any religion that convinces people to give up such an amount when they simply cannot afford it is toxic and shouldn't exist. I would watch my parents give around $1,000 per week to their cult type church. The fun parts were 1. They had 6 kids and 2. My parents always claimed we didn't have money for basically anything that we wanted to do. I would watch my dad spend hundreds on guns or gun accessories, but they would split one carton of eggnog between all of us around Christmas. But they somehow always found a shit ton of money to give to the church. Kids wearing clothes with holes in them, But yeah, give it to that grifting pastor instead. Chris Brown. The man beat the absolute snot out of Rihanna and everyone just seems to have forgotten about it like it was okay. He got Rihanna's beaten face tattooed on his neck too. How the hell does that guy still have fans? Kanye West ye Adolf Hitler. Call me an old fool, I'm 55. I was raised and schooled in the 70s and 80s when we were taught Hitler and the Holocaust were bad and everyone pretty much universally agreed. So when did this change? There's a photo of young Kanye wearing an anti-Nazi shirt. He's just gone off the deep end. It gets worse and worse every year. His mental health is abysmal. And there seems to be other factors that tie into it. Roman Polanski for raping a 13-year-old in the 70s. That's not true. He raped several children in the 70s. That's not true. He raped several children in the 70s and 80s. Prince Andrew. Take this with a grain of salt. But about a month ago, I was bored at work and bouncing around the internet. Stopped on some article on a gossip site where it said that Prince Charles had to take Andrew into a room and basically slowly, painfully spell out for him that he was pretty much a pariah and would never be able to serve in his royal capacities ever again. Couldn't really give a shit about the royals. But the idea that the former troubled scapegoat brother had to take his golden child brother into a room and basically give him a giant dressing down and tell him what a disgusting moron he is made me very, very happy. Edit. I'm the worst with run-on sentences. Edit 2. Here's a link to the article. Thanks to you/Amok for finding it. Charles isn't my fave, but I hope that now he's king he can be like, look, mum protected you but I won't. You better pull your head in. And I hope when William is king he can outright be like Stfu. Everyone that's a Scientologist tbh. Those poor people are brainwashed, and I feel genuine pity for most of them. They are living in fear and being scammed every single day. However, David Miscavige can duck all the way off to the depths of hell for running that cult and hurting all those people. James Corden. That moment you realize they didn't edit all of the a-holes out of Cats. The world got to see James Corden as a big, fat kitten. He was also in the movie Cats. Ricky Gervais. As a previous fan. Jeffree Star. Yup, Shane Dawson too. I mean, I can't find a point when Dawson's content was actually ever good. Not even back in the early 2010s. I won't deny I watched it, but looking back Dawson was just right place, right time when it came to YouTube. Those who visited Epstein Island. Even if a list was released I feel like nothing will change. Any televangelists? Ellen DeGeneres. She's so rude. Hasn't she already been shunned to obscurity? I think there's still lots of people who don't know how mean this person is, They have to cancel Eugenia Cooney. She is killing herself on camera and that makes her a role model for plenty of anorectic 12-year-old fangirls. Every time I see her name I think, oh, she's still alive. I have the unreasonable hope that she will get help. Didn't know of her, so used the Google. Before, perfectly healthy, wholesome looking young woman. Now, she's going to die without help. And soon. No more social media and into a hospital. Like immediately. Anorexia is no joke. Too many people die from eating disorders every day not to take it seriously. This is just so disturbing and heartbreaking. And avoidable. Speaking as a former Kanye West fan. Kanye West. Also saying that as a former fan. Additionally, I refuse to call him ye. Duck that Hitler lover. Chris Brown. I'll never understand why he's been given a pass by the music community and fans. Bill Cosby. Man just can't stop. I hadn't heard anything about him recently. Sorry to say I went looking. New lawsuits. Sigh, it's disheartening when someone you used to respect growing up turned out to be a creep and a slimeball. I long for a world where people treat each other like people. Brock Turner. You know, the rapist Brock Turner, the guy who raped an unconscious woman, that Brock Turner. Don't forget that he's going by Alan Turner now. Also, he lives in the Dayton, area and enjoys going to the bars. You mean the rapist formerly known as Brock Turner? That rapist a swipe? Rapist Brock Alan Turner? Not really famous, but Trisha Paytas. Casey Anthony. I might be out of the loop, but does she count as a celebrity? I get the vibe that everyone is on the Duck Casey Anthony train already. Well, it said famous person and she is somewhat famous for murdering her daughter. This bitch has a whole ass documentary out now giving her side of the story. Distressed face vomiting. Any celebrity currently in Scientology? Barbra Streisand. She's hands down the worst human being I've ever met. She's well known for ruining careers and essentially blacklisting people in the industry. My dad worked with her on a project and she would publicly berate people for the smallest mistakes. She's a well-known picky eater and she expects every random craft services person to know that and flips out when they don't. Pray you never meet this woman. Didn't Trey and Matt, creators of South Park, say she is the only celeb they legitimately disliked and revealed in parodying? Yep, it was a vignette on the VHS tape of Mecha Streisand if I remember correctly. They said how they actually respect the celebrities they make fun of, except for Barbra Streisand. We hate her. They also said in a Rolling Stone interview that the incident that sparked their hate for her was that she moved to Colorado and immediately started demanding political changes and threatened to leave if the changes weren't made. They thought that threatening to deny a town the pleasure of having her as a resident was the most arrogant thing they had ever heard. Trump, Kanye, the Kardashians, Elon Musk. I shouldn't have to scroll this far to find Elon Musk. Jake and Logan Paul. I don't consume any of their media, I just know they're ducking idiots that have way too many subscribers. Edit. I appreciate the support for Logan but I can't bring myself to care about him. I'm curious why any famous person should be revered. It's pretty absurd to think an actor giving medical, scientific, or any other advice could be taken seriously. I'd legit attend a lecture by Brian May, lead guitarist of Queen, on the topic of astrophysics. https://en Wikipedia org wiki Brian May scientific career. Similarly Dexter Holland from Offspring. https://www.rollingstone.com music news Offspring's Dexter Holland finishes PhD thesis on HIV research 193,282/ not for astrophysics, but for HIV and biochemistry. Travis Scott for his terrible treatment and purposeful ignorance of his own fans yelling at him during the Astroworld concert to stop the show while people were literally dying. Andy Dong. Life will not be fair until I walk into a North Hollywood 7-Eleven and he is behind the counter. Elon Musk. I get it dude, you're rich. I don't want to hear about you daily, please go away. Surprised he's so far down the list. Actually, Woody Allen, the creeper married the adopted child of the woman he was dating. There's allegations of him sexually abusing another one of her children, Dylan, too, and TBH, with the obvious lack of healthy boundaries you'd need to marry your ex's child. I believe it. Why they are still letting him make movies is beyond me. His movies aren't even that good. Edit. Yes, I said what I said. His movies are mediocre and I don't care how much you say no they're not D. Because seriously? The last small part of my post is what you focus on. How about we agree to disagree about his films and stfu about them already? It's not what's important anyway. Edit 2. Actually, this post is blowing up bigger than expected. I really should stop prioritizing Reddit over chores. So I won't be responding much. Edit 3. Anyone who says that it doesn't matter because they've been married for 20+ years and she was an adult when they got together. Also he was never a father figure to her is as sketchy as he is. Especially since they met before she was even legal while he was dating Mia Farrow. During that time, he could have possibly influenced a minor while she was still young and impressionable enough to do so. You're the middle of a turbulent relationship with this man, and you suddenly find out that your young, barely legal daughter is head over heels for this much older man who's had access to her since she was a minor? That doesn't sound warning bells to you? Furthermore, you're accusing that Mia Farrow could possibly have influenced Dylan to making the claim that benefits her and Dylan having false memories even years later because of MF. The same can be said about Woody Allen to Soon Yi. Also, the nanny had admitted that there was a moment where she didn't know where Dylan and WA was, so cut the they were never alone crap. All of the Kardashians and all of their significant others. Drake. dude has been grooming young kids even though it's been clearly revealed on accident by his victims. On the record. Nobody cares though. Every single one of them except Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross and Steve Irwin. Let's rebuild our society based on their principles. And Dolly Parton. All of the Kardashians. The entire Smith family. Will, Jada, and their dumb kids. Wendy Williams. Vladimir Putin. Easy, R. Kelly for starters. Kanye West and Andrew Tate. Andy Dong. Been waiting for his reckoning and we might finally have it. Pedophile YouTubers. Yes, that was a thing in the Netherlands about 5 years ago. One 50-something-year-old guy called Marco Papa back that went famous for eating lard, admitted that he was a pedophile and chatted with little boys on Skype and also created a camp fap challenge. His YouTube channels kept getting removed by YouTube and he kept coming back with fake accounts to upload weird stuff and he's ducking disgusting. The most disgusting thing I saw him do was bake his own cum to see if it turns hard and untransparent like baking an egg. He also had a little dog that was so fat his skinny legs almost broke. He kept doing this stuff till he died of pneumonia in 2018. Hope he burns in hell. Jared Leto. Caitlyn Jenner. She's too problematic. Marjorie ducking Traitor Green. Mass shooters. They want recognition. Kelly and EDP because for some reason they haven't been deplatformed yet. I thought this would be first but Elon Musk. Yee. Done. Why is Armie Hammer not on this list lol? Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content bruh. It's free and that's a great price.